All right, well, what's up, you guys? Todd Falcone here. What's happening? So check this out. Last night I did a conference call on the subject of protecting your greatest assets in business. I figured I'd do a little follow-up video on it and talk about that and talk about the assets. And I'm really talking in the context, of course, of being in a network marketing business, but just in general, being in business and protecting your greatest assets. So in my mind, I'm not talking about your money and your possessions, although those are very important things. And obviously, your intellectual property, I'm not going to talk about that on this particular video. Your personal creations by trademarking or patenting them or copywriting them and that kind of thing. But really, if we're talking about network marketing or any kind of sales type of business, it's, if you think about it, like what would send you into a complete panic if you woke up one morning and all of it was gone? I mean, of course, like on a personal level, it might be our photographs of our family and, other things like that, or our house or whatever. But in business, like what would be the thing that, if you were in a sales business, what would be the thing that you'd be like really gravely concerned about if you lost it and you didn't have access to it? Now, for a lot of people, I think it would be their contacts, the human beings that they have access to, whether it's their customers, their distributors, their leaders, their prospect list, the people that follow them on their blog, their newsletters, or whatever, all of those things, the people, Facebook, social media, Instagram, all of that stuff. And this call that I did the other night or last night was based on me waking up on Monday morning and I had no access to my Facebook. Like it was just gone. I think like 10:20 the night before they shut it down while I was sleeping. And now the funny thing is, like, and this is part of the post and some of the suggestions I'm going to talk about here that I talked about in this call, is I don't control that. You don't control any social media stuff. Like, you have thousands of followers on Facebook and Instagram and whatever it is, friends, followers, depending on how you look at it, Twitter, whatever. You don't own that stuff. So it's like, and here's the thing: we rely so heavily, so much today on social media to communicate and to stay out there and stay present, and it's like a day. Like if you look at it, and we'll just, and by the way, I'm not picking on Facebook at all. I think honestly, I think, and I don't have the answer yet. I think my site got hacked, and because there was some new page that was being created, and I was sleeping, so it definitely wasn't me. So we'll get that resolved. So I'm not down on Facebook at all. But just the reality of social media is we don't have control over those assets, meaning, we can go out there and we can communicate in Facebook, but if Facebook disappeared tomorrow, would your business be hurting? If Twitter or Instagram, especially if you're building a lot of your business in these different social media vehicles, if it disappeared tomorrow, where would your business be? If you say, my gosh, it would suffer, then you have to do things that actually create the opportunity for you to, and I'll use the internet term, which I did on the call last night. So I'm going to use the internet language. And Russell Brunson talks about traffic, and he uses, and he's probably not the only one that talks about it, but I happen to be reading a book of his right now. So talks about traffic that you control, traffic and traffic that you own. And I'll just talk about this. The traffic you control, for example, in this case, is people. Like if I were to go on Facebook and say, go to my website to check this out, I can direct people to a website through the use of that social media tool. I don't own the traffic. I got 100,000 plus fans on Facebook, and I can't download all those 100,000 plus people and put them into anything. Like if Facebook decided one day you don't have access to that, then I'm done. I don't have access to it, right? So, and I'm not freaking out over the situation. It's funny, my fan page is still up, but my Facebook profile page is down. I'm sure we're going to get it resolved. But my point is, understanding that you don't actually, you can control that traffic, if you will, but you don't own that traffic or own that list. And it really comes down to the people that are in your personal phone and that you have their contact information, or they're on your email newsletter list, or their blog followers, or whatever they are of yours. That's really, that gives you a greater amount of control. You're not controlling it in that case, but it gives you greater control, because if your Facebook disappeared, if your Twitter disappeared, if your Instagram disappeared, and you don't have those people, those names, phone numbers, addresses, or whatever the data is, someplace that you have control over, then what's going to happen? Now, we have our, I can't reach for my phone right now, but we have our phone. I got all the phone numbers in there and email addresses and all that, and I got my newsletter list, and I've got that. I own that stuff. Okay, so my point is, guys, is this. I woke up and it was like I was in jail. I mean, not literal jail, but kind of figurative jail. And it was kind of cool because I got a break from Facebook yesterday and so far today, but we'll see what happens. What you want to do is save the information. So you can't just go in there and download your Facebook list and put it someplace. And the way it's done is this. It's very arduous. It's a long process, but it's building real relationships, taking those relationships offline and getting to know those people in a real relationship. So I can actually have a conversation with you. Now I've got your name, your phone number, your email address, so that if, God forbid, Facebook didn't exist one day, we have a real relationship, not a Facebook relationship. You're in my database. You're in my phone. I can pick up the phone and call you. So it's just real important to think about how much lack of control we have now in some of these social media vehicles that we rely so heavily upon to build our business. So just some food for thought. There's some other tips below on this video based on my conversation I had last night, but just kind of interesting to plant that seed and think about it. I don't really control that, or I can control it until they don't give me control. I can't do anything. I can't post on Facebook or do anything at the moment. So we will see, but make sure you get yourself into a situation where you're actually collecting somehow legally, ethically, morally, of course, the right way, that information, so that you can maintain long-term real contact with those people if these vehicles happen to disappear or make you disappear. So, all right, we'll see you on another video. Todd Falcone. The rest of the details are down below.